It's Friday. The weekend is here. Friday the 16th day in the month of July 2021. Welcome to Breakfast Central, reaching you live from the economic capital of the most populous nation in Africa, Nigeria. I am Oluchi Enobong.
Bonjour, Africa. Good morning. Just like she said, thank God it's Friday. Before we talk about Friday night, it is Friday morning. She just puts songs in my head, doesn't she? Well, welcome to the program. My name is Olisa Chukuma. The weekend is here and we are not relenting at all. We are set to bring you the top stories and news around the continent and beyond. But let's start with a look at the headlines for today, Friday, July 16th, 2021.
And we start off in South Africa, where food scarcity may worsen.
Also in Nigeria, Senate approves conditional electronic transmission of electoral results. We'll tell you how.
And we'll be going to Zimbabwe, where the government sets to monitor NGOs' activities.
Also on the program, unveiling the power of visual art. You don't want to miss it.
And we'll be giving you a review of the newspaper headlines today, Friday the 16th.
News Central ní ẹ̀ ń wò.
If you just tuned in, this is Breakfast Central. Now you can follow us on all socials. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram. We're also on our website, and now it is at News Central TV. But you can also go on our website and watch us live at www.newscentraltv.africa. Let's get the program started with a look at some stories from the front pages of the papers.
All right, and we're starting out this time with north, south, east, and west. Where is the best? The papers this morning, and goes to East Africa with the Citizen in Tanzania. Talks about new mobile money levies spark uproar. So that's the front page of the Citizen in Tanzania. That's what the paper is talking about this morning. It says additional charges levied on mobile money transactions took effect yesterday in the country, with agents having a very tough time trying to explain the levies to angry customers who were caught unawares, and business people saying the fees would have an adverse impact on their operations. More on that on the front page of the Citizen. Plus, you have on the bottom there says how government plans to put more cash in circulation, and the Muatara corridor plans to get 14 billion shillings to SADC boost. That's the SADC region, countries on and around the southern part of Africa. All that on the front page of the Citizen in Tanzania.
From the Citizen's paper this morning, we are moving to the Daily Nation in Nigeria. And the Daily Nation has quite a lot. Now, one of the big story here is drama in battle for Kaimba. This is Daily Nation in Kenya this morning, I beg your pardon. Daily Nation from the Kenya newspaper. Who's king? It was billed as a contest that would decisively settle the people that are having the big issue right here. But this is from the Daily Nation this morning. Also, the Daily Nation, a man 93 wins heart of a girl age 19 and marries her. Quite a romantic one there.
Really?
Also, yeah, 93-year-old and 19. Makes me wonder the age difference. Well, would it work out? That's a story.
That's about 70 years worth of age difference.
You can get more information, Elisa, from the Daily Nation this morning. Also revealed, that's what it says here, horror of serial killer from hell. Now, some of his victims here, there are 10 names here, 10 different names. And look at the chap. I think he's the one, the picture we have there, the young man. That's the picture you have there. And it's been revealed, horror of serial killer from hell. This is where you will get the information, Daily Nation from Kenya.
All right, let's go to another paper this morning to see what they have. And that is the Sowetan from South Africa. Always quite colorful. And they've gone with the tribute, first of all. Yes, that's, and it's gone with the Holike, all right, so in the Sowetan. So, but on the big spread, they have one that talks about the dead made to wait. So it says burials in KwaZulu-Natal and parts of the Gauteng province put on hold by the madness this week that saw mobs rampaging and looting businesses. So all about the riots in South Africa since the jailing of the former president Jacob Zuma, and they're saying the dead may have to wait. We hear over 100 people have died so far in the country. Quite a sad one. And you can see quite a sporting one. Chiefs of Africa loading, bring it home, the Amakosi team. So Kaizer Chiefs have a date with Al Ahly tomorrow, and they are prepping up for the Champions League final. And also quite a sad one, death of Dream Birth, a super actor. Timely boost for Bafana. All right, so you have it, Vusi Kunene, all down the front page of the Sowetan.
All right, from the Sowetan papers, we're moving straight to the Punch newspaper this morning. Looking at the Punch, we have quite a big one there, all about electronic results transmission. Southern senators turn against governors. National Assembly members clash. It was a big one, and this is one of the major stories we have for you on the program later today. Quite a serious debate. The electoral amendment bill has been in Nigeria, but you'll find more details in the Punch this morning. Still on COVID-19, World Bank mobilizes $100 billion support fund for Nigeria and others. You will find this on page 25 of the Punch this morning. PIB passage deadlock. Reps suspend consideration indefinitely. You will find this in page 11 of the paper as well. And you will see this picture that has lots of ram, talking about the Muslim festival the Muslim holiday and festival that will be happening sometime next week. We have an influx of these animals in different parts of Nigeria. What will it be sold for? And the benefit? Well, all of this you will get from the Punch and more.
As they say, ram business is serious business in Nigeria. Well, that's it for the morning papers. Let's go straight to our top stories today on Breakfast Central. All right, you're still watching Breakfast Central today, Friday, the 16th day of July 2021. We're sticking with Nigeria, where the Senate in the country has approved the conditional electronic transmission of electoral results. Now, senators yesterday voted publicly along party lines over the Section 52, subsection 3 of the Electoral Act Amendment Bill, which deals with electronic transmission of polls results. Now, at the end of voting, 28 senators, mostly from the PDP party, voted for the original amendments in the report, while 52 senators, mostly from the ruling APC, voted for the amendment as proposed by Senator Sabi Abdullahi.
Now, what this means, you may wonder, it simply means in layman's terms that majority of senators voted that INEC may consider electronic transmission provided the national network coverage is adjourned to be adequate and secure by NCC and approved by the National Assembly. All right,
it was quite a rowdy session yesterday in the Senate when that was going on. I was also following it with our producer, Joe, almost on radio yesterday. So people are really interested in seeing the motives, I think, of these senators, because at the end of the day, you are representing the voice of the people. This is the electoral amendment bill that we've all come a long way to say finally we're going to have a vote on. And the partisanship, I believe, is what perhaps got people a bit, gutted.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, it is for the best of the people, the nation, the population of the people in the country. It's not a situation of, okay, because I belong to this party, then I should resonate with what the generals in that party is saying. It should be for the good of the people. Have we not gone beyond the analog system of voting in Nigeria? I mean, look at other countries, look at other developing countries as well as other developed countries. How has it been? We're coming out, some of the senators are having the school of thought that, look, we don't have the network coverage to penetrate to some of these rural,
and that was quite debated yesterday
regions.
By some of the other senatorial colleagues in there, saying that it because you had I listened to a lot of analysis about it, and you have people talking about, is it not the same basic network of phone network coverage? You don't need advanced kind of network. That with the kind of network that we have in different parts of Nigeria, it is more than adequate. And that's why you have the NCC coming into this debate that, okay, can they give the approval for this electronic transmission of results or not? And the question about INEC being quite an independent body. Because INEC at the end of the day, the I in the INEC is the independent.
Right.
So does that take away their independence if they have to get approvals or perhaps resolutions from the NCC, which is the National Commission? So these are the kind of gray areas and debates. But also yesterday, it was clear to see that, I was looking to also see how many senators, in spite of which party you are flying, would cross carpet and vote, and the numbers were quite few. So it's obvious that, partisanship in this country clearly places its head in issues like this.
And it's quite unfortunate that this kind of scenario will be playing out. I mean, even watching the session, it was a rowdy and very, very, very cumbersome situation. It was quite tense in the House of Assembly when they were having this argument back and forth. One party would come out and be against the amendment of this bill. Let's not forget that some senators were also absent.
Yeah.
We had about 28 senators that were also absent at this for a crucial sitting like this, for a sitting where these lawmakers are being paid by taxpayers' money to come and deliberate on this particular issue, which is not the first time they're sitting for it. Let's not forget, this has been a drag from 2015 all the way till this present day, 2021, and we're still going around in circles. What is stopping us from being electronic?
That is the big question. Also, this comes based on a development on Wednesday that the Senate approved the bill to establish the Electoral Offences Commissions Act, under which anyone caught snatching voting materials like the popular ballot box during elections upon conviction is liable to face about 20 years imprisonment without an option for fine. All right, so let's quickly take you through some of the resolutions of this bill, and we'll have it on your screen right about now to really paint a picture for you. All right, so it says at least 5 years jail term or at least 10 million naira fine for party officials/executives who engage in electoral fraud. And there's also other clauses there.
It also says 15 years imprisonment for any person involved in the selling of voters' card. Wow. I mean, these are some of the penalties, and these are some of the clauses that have been amendment in the electoral bill. We also have any election official who deliberately hinders someone from voting will face at least 10 years in prison.
It says at least 15 years imprisonment for any judicial officer who corruptly perverts electoral justice. It's a lot of, clauses.
Oh, listen, we haven't gotten that. We also have the hate speech in this as well, but let's just keep going. 15 years imprisonment for security personnel influencing the outcome of elections.
And 6 months imprisonment for disturbing the peace. We really have to really get, some of the time, get people to really talk about it. It said 10 years in jail for defaming candidates.
And soliciting votes attracts 5 years jail term or 10 million naira, as it says right here before us. Aha, Olisa, that's it.
It says 10 years or 20 million naira fine for hate speech. I'd like to go into that one.
Exactly.
Someone who uses hate speech to incite ethnic, religious, or racial hatred, social or political insecurity, or violence against anyone or a group of people will face at least 10 years in jail or a fine of at least 20 million naira or both.
Or both. Now, this for hate speech. Has hate speech been defined? Well, let's move on. Influencing voters' choice attracts 15 years jail term. That's what it says here. 3 to 5 years in jail for providing false information.
What defines false information?
Right.
What defines
hate speech?
Influencing voters' choice? Very, very, gray areas in this one, because at the end of the day, who defines what is what
and what is not?
Because the jail terms and the punishments are quite, in bold letters, you can see them there. But the wordings of what it will actually mean to that, I still see a couple of, and that's me just, speaking this time.
Because a lot of people also
and this is Nigeria. We know how to.
That you're saying.
Yeah, we know how to really spell this out in, biro and pencil, or pen and paper. It's all looking all wordy and all gloss, but in the nitty-gritty of it all, that it's more like the more you look, the less you see.
All right, more top stories coming on the program. And we settle in South Africa, where the country has mustered its army reserve in a bid to quell several days of looting that has ravaged supplies of food and other essentials and has dealt a crippling blow to its economy. Now, the disorder slowly began to ebb across most affected provinces on Thursday before an unexpected surge in soldiers on the streets.
Yeah, we hear about 25,000 soldiers about to be deployed in the streets of South Africa. Now, joining us this morning, all the way from Johannesburg in South Africa, is reporter Nakuzula Casey. Welcome to Breakfast Central. Now, what is the latest update on the unrest, the rioting, the looting in South Africa?
About 72 people have been killed during the looting. We know currently that 1,000 people or more have been arrested. And what's currently happening in the Durban area that we've seen is that there has been a call for the community to come and start cleaning up. So certain areas in the Durban metropolitan are starting to clean up. It is the taxi drivers together with the community coming together to try and clean up. However, it is still very chaotic. Shops are still closed, and the ones that are open are only serving a certain number of people. I do know that there's a shopping center that is still operational in the Umhlanga area in KwaZulu-Natal, and people have been queuing for more than 8 hours just to go in and get in this. So it's really pretty much still hectic in the KwaZulu-Natal region and area. And we do know that the biggest food distribution center, which is Escort, was also attacked and looted. So things like bread, milk, they cannot reach the store. That is why people are queuing for so long. And Mesma is also saying they do not want to send out their trucks, they don't want to send out their people to go and deliver food because it is scared of what has happened to them. So it's pretty much still hectic. It's the survival of the fittest, what's happening right now in KwaZulu-Natal, and people have resorted to learning how to even make their own bread because they cannot get it at stores. It is sold out. Those with money have bought whatever they can buy. So that's currently what's happening today. They are trying to clean up, but it's still very chaotic, and people are still struggling to get the basic necessities.
Right. We hear that about 25,000 military officers have been deployed this morning. But tell us, how are the security operatives handling the matter?
Well, the police have currently called for help from the SANDF because they are saying they are outnumbered by the looters. So they really couldn't do much apart from shoot the people with rubber bullets and use tear gas on them. So right now they have deployed the troops on the street. It is becoming a little bit better. Some of these troops are also guarding certain supermarkets. That's the ones that people can reach currently and go shop there. And what also has been happening is that private security companies can also jump in to give a hand and help wherever they can, especially at stores that have not been affected so that people can be shopping. So there has been a slight difference with the soldiers there and the private security companies offering help, but the basic SAPS, the South African services, could not handle the number of people on their own. So we're just so happy now to see the private companies also assisting with their security guards.
All right, Casey. Now we hear that South Africans are almost learning how to bake their own bread while indoors, and the food scarcity is on the rise due to all these problems there. How are South Africans coping with food?
People are very hopeful for better days, but it's really, really tough. Like I said, people are now having to resort to learn how to make bread. But how do you make that bread if you cannot even go out to go buy that flour because there is nothing to buy? Shops are closed. It's really hectic like that. So people are hopeful, but they're anxious. And a lot of people don't know if they still have jobs because most places or most shops that were looted aren't government owned or the big companies, but it's a company that Sarah started for herself and employed 5 or 6 people and they're working. But now that shop has been looted, everything is gone because the people took whatever they could take. Even small salons, they went in and took anything that they take. So people are very uncertain right now. They don't know if they still have jobs. They don't know how they're going to take care of themselves going forward. It's really a tough time. It's really dark. But I've seen that people are very hopeful. Some are writing nice messages to just try and calm, other people down because it really is a tough time. It's sad. South Africans are really going through a lot right now, but they are hopeful. Things are going to become better.
All right, thank you very much, Nokuzola Kisi, all the way from Johannesburg. You are still watching Breakfast Central on News Central. From South Africa, let's take you straight to Zimbabwe, where our correspondent Lala is on standby with news that an NGO and activities are being cancelled to question. Now, good morning, Lala.
Morning, Olisa. How are you?
Very well, doing great.
All right, Lala. Now, quickly, just tell us what really prompted the move by the president to start monitoring the activities of non-government organizations, NGOs in the country.
Okay, so this has always been a back and forth fight between the NGO and the government and the ruling party, of course, every time, especially when it's time for elections. As you know, Zimbabwe is currently preparing for the general elections, which are going to be held in 2023, which is like 2 years away. So the government has said that, has issued a warning. Actually, the president was warning the NGOs that the government is keeping an eye on all NGOs' activities, and that the government will not hesitate to cancel any operational registration for NGOs that are going to divert from their mandate or that are going to be involved in politics.
All right, Lala, involvement in politics. It does seem that the government there is quite suspicious of NGOs. These NGOs, are we talking about the local ones or the ones that have affiliation with foreign bodies?
Okay, I think these NGOs are NGOs that are local, but obviously they have foreign funding. They have big donor organizations funding them. And the NGOs have, in response, said that they are non-partisan. They said, okay, the government needs to relax. They are non-partisan. All they are doing is playing a watchdog role and bringing the government into accountability, and that they remain being the voice of the voiceless. But obviously, like I said earlier, this has been a back and forth, a fight between the government and NGOs. In 2008, after the elections, that time Robert Mugabe was still alive, and he had stood as president for the many times that he has stood for presidency in Zimbabwe. And after those elections, the government actually revoked some NGOs licenses that were operating at the time. And this has always been surrounded by, the idea that NGOs tend to influence, especially the urban dwellers, to vote differently, to vote for the opposition party and not for the ruling party.
Wow. That is quite a severe accusation towards NGOs in the country, Lala. Well, away from that, Lala, we talked about the other day the vaccination program in Zimbabwe. So as it started, it's a quite ambitious target to vaccinate about 1 million people. How far so far?
Okay, so far what the government has done in the Ministry of Health and Child Care was to decentralize the vaccination program. So what has happened is the vaccination program has been taken to communities. It has been taken closer to people so that it makes it easier and more accessible for people to actually go to these vaccination centers and get vaccinated. And mind you, the vaccination that the country received, the 2 million doses that the country received, the vaccine, was the Sinovac, not Sinopharm.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Lala Ngwenya, our correspondent from Zimbabwe, with the latest on the government now targeting NGOs. We'll catch you once again, Lala.
Thank you.
All right, quite an interesting conversations we're having on Breakfast Central this morning, but still to come on the program.
All about John Boyega, who stars in Naked Singularity movie.
And the big one, Champions League final, Kaizer Chiefs versus 9-time winners Al Ahly.
Unveiling the power of visual arts. You're still watching Breakfast Central on News Central. Let's now join Sam Dandy for some entertainment stories. Take it away, Sammy.
So let me start by saying I think Fridays are going to be perfect for movies. So British-Nigerian award-winning actor and producer John Boyega is set to star alongside Olivia Cook in the latest heist thriller, Naked Singularity. Now, if you're not familiar with the name, then of course think the black guy from Star Wars. Of course, that's John Boyega. Well, less than 24 hours ago, the trailer of the new movie was released. Now, of course, it's executive produced by Riley Scott and Dick Wolf. Now, here's what's interesting. So 29-year-old Boyega plays a promising young public defender in New York City, now whose views on the justice system begins to darken following the several injustices he has witnessed on his job. Now, doubting all of things working out and signs of hopelessness all around him, he's pulled into a dangerous, high-stake drug heist by one of his former clients. Of course, that's where Olivia Cook comes in. Now they take revenge to beat the broken system at its own game, people. Now, Naked Singularity, of course, hits New York theaters first on August 6th and the rest of the world on the 13th. But let's take a look at the trailer. I can't talk about it without playing the trailer.
Heroin stashed inside that navigator.
Why risk it?
I don't want to live my life looking at lost opportunities.
Let me pose this hypo. We could steal said monies without detection. I still wouldn't do it. Why not? Because it's wrong. It's wrong? It's wrong. It's wrong? Think about what it can do.
One can break the law, my friend, and still believe in justice.
That isn't the first spliff you've had tonight, is it?
Someone's gonna see $15 million all in one room. Think of the lives that could change.
I'm in.
This guy has me freaked.
You better not be trying to get in the middle of something that has nothing to do with you. For her sake.
This is our chance to carve our names across the...
Well, of course, that's the trailer for that movie, Naked Singularity. And I'm just super excited to see John Boyega play any role because it's phenomenal. With over 5 wins for major awards, I think it's going to be a great movie. That's for sure.
All right, Sammy. Yes, I wish you can join me in the studio right now because I have a very, very important guest. Drum roll.
All right, I'll join you, definitely.
All right, so now reality TV shows are very relatable because they reflect society and oftentimes, if I must confess, see ourselves become so obsessed with them. Well, today on Breakfast Central, we have a talented music act who went on a music reality show and won the hearts of so many lovers. Please make welcome Daniel Ikechi. He was one of the contestants in the just concluded Nigerian Idol, which is a Nigerian reality show. Welcome to Breakfast Central.
Thank you very much.
Oh, nice.
Good to be here.
All right, so let's start with from the very beginning. Tell us about your music journey and how it all started.
How it all started. I was born. That's how the music started, because I was born into music. My mom is a singer. I was born into a family of music, and I just grew loving it. And the Nigerian Idol thing started when I sent in an audition video, and I was selected to come for the live auditions. And I went for the live auditions, and I was selected. And then I went for the theater week, and I was selected still. And then I got into the live show, and we went week in and week in and week in, through grueling rehearsals and studio times and interviews and everything. And it's been a wonderful and exciting experience.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
And it's opened so many doors for me. Look, I'm here on the Breakfast TV show.
Oh, that's so nice. That's so fantastic. I know Sammy is here with us. Sam Dandy, are you still with us?
I couldn't afford to leave. Let me ask. I'm curious, right? Why did you choose to audition for the Nigerian Idol itself? Why did you choose that competition?
Well, it's Nigerian Idol. Who wouldn't choose to audition for Nigerian Idol? Come on, it's a very big deal, and it speaks for itself. It's Nigerian Idol.
As at the time you were competing, as at the time you were auditioning to be on the show, did you even think in any way, do you think in any way that you would have been selected?
I was open to all possibilities. I was confident in my abilities as a musician and as an entertainer, but I was okay with not getting in.
Really?
So I just went there to enjoy myself, and I went there, did my thing, and I got in and I was like, okay, this is working, okay. And then I went on and happened again.
Okay, so now the show is ended, okay?
Yeah,
the show is ended, and you had a very good time. I know you were one of the top 8.
Yes.
And it was a 10-week reality show. So now tell us, that has come and gone.
Yeah.
What is in it? What's next for you?
What's next? Well, Nigerian Idol kind of gave me a huge boost into my music. So I just want to work on that momentum that Nigeria has given me. I'm a songwriter, producer, and musician, not yet a recording artist, which I am working towards. Already there are things in the work right now, trying to get out there. So I'm working my way towards becoming a recording artist and, possible Grammy Award winner.
Sam, are you hearing this? Are you hearing what I'm hearing, Sam?
I absolutely love the spirit. Let me ask you, I like your spirit, but I want to know now, do you feel any pressure now that, of course, people know you? It's a different ballgame. People know you, they've seen you on TV. Any pressure whatsoever?
Of course, there's pressure. Now I get into a room, I'm used to just, sitting at a corner and just chilling on my own, listening to my music, writing or stuff. But now people see me and they're trying to figure out if they know me from somewhere, and I'm like, you don't know me? That kind of thing. I can't hide anymore. I'm out there. So, that life is gone. The new life now, life of a celebrity.
So now tell us, tell us, Daniel, what is the one thing that nobody knows about you that you are sharing right here, right now? What's that all exclusive that you're giving to us on Breakfast Central? One thing. Just one.
Just how do you blindside me with that kind of thing?
Just one.
Wow.
I like this.
What is that one thing that nobody prior to you being a Nigerian Idol found out till now? Amo, you feel this one. All right, thank you so much. Oh, I did that, right?
You did it.
Goodness. Oh, but thank you so much for being here on Breakfast Central. Let's all look out for Daniel's performance much later on the show. Olisa will be right here talking to a visual artist in a bit. Stay with us. We still have more to come.
Right, you're still watching Breakfast Central on a Friday. Don't forget you can follow us on all our social media handles. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and you can also stream us live on YouTube. Catch us live also on StarTime channel 274 and on Avo TV channel 23. Now let's talk about visual art, shall we? It's a modern but some might say imprecise umbrella, a term for a broad category of art which includes a number of artistic disciplines from various subcategories. Now, it's a fundamental component of the human experience, reflecting the world and the time in which we live and helping us to understand our history, our culture, and our lives and experiences of others in a manner that cannot be achieved through other means. Now, our guest today is clearly a visual artist who will be explaining his art and craft. I'm joined by Ayokomi Binutu, who's a visual artist. Ayokomi, good morning. Welcome to Breakfast Central.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you doing?
Very well. Hope you're comfortable. Hope you're good. It's a Friday. Yeah. Right, let's get to it.
Yes,
when did it all start for you, this visual art practice and your craft? I see it's quite unique.
Okay. How did this start? My brother and I, we found out that we were talented, we could draw. My younger brother, actually. We were two kids who loved to do a lot of art. We were just painting, designing the walls and doing everything. Then we went to school. After going to school...
Did you study art and craft?
No.
What did you study then?
I studied economics.
Wow.
And then...
So is this what you wanted to be, an artist? Or
I would say it was evident because we were just doing a lot of art and the rest and making a lot of silly puppets and doing so much. So we went to school and my brother went to study medicine. I studied economics and then I went to England.
Okay.
And I had my master's.
Still in economics too?
Yeah, still in economics.
Oh my.
Then, my brother studied medicine. So after graduating, we're just on our beds. I think I was having my NYSC then. They were like, okay, let's start this company called Pencils and Brushes.
Yeah.
Then we started. And we started getting works and we did a lot of portraits, paintings. Then people started getting aware, okay, these guys are like the Walt Disney of the Walt Disney of the art world. Then BBC came calling, then Combini came calling, then BBC came calling.
And News Central have come calling. All right, quickly, so how's the journey been, especially for your pencils and, painting, company started with your brother? How's the journey been so far in this visual space?
Interesting. We've learned a lot starting a company. There were times where it was very tough because we didn't start with funding.
Okay.
We started saving money. So we'll save, get another work, save, and the rest. So we had to learn through the ropes. It was kind of like bootstrapping.
And the reception from customers, clients, how has it been?
Yeah, it's been very good. We started getting works early enough. Then there were times where we flunked. There were times where we did not make money, where we had to read business books, we had to talk to clients, we had to strategize, we had to attend seminars, meetings, talk to people. So it inculcated a lot of things that we didn't know about.
Yeah, but at the same time, you still had to do the craft, you still had to do the art, you still had to do the things that you have to do with your hands.
Yes.
So how was that challenge of navigation? Because don't forget, you and your brother, as you mentioned, medicine, economics, highly educated masters, but really crafty, and then you're back here, you have to do business with visual arts. Who many might say not really, maybe Africans don't really appreciate it, and that's, some, not everyone.
Okay. Juggling the two of them wasn't easy. I mean, there were times where we had to do a lot of sacrifice, take leaves. Then, but we've grown up. We grew up together, so we understood the work demand and everything. Then we also had to get people to work with us. So being a full-fledged company is registered, we had to get artists to work with us because we understand that if we want to go far, we have to go with a lot of people. So we had to get a lot of artists to work with us, designers and so many other people. Then we came up with something unique I will say we're the pioneers of live art in the country. So what we did was we started doing glitter paintings, we started doing splash paintings, like live performances at weddings, and that thing just went off to people started saying, wow, we've not seen this in the country before.
Yeah, because one of the marvelous works, and I've seen it, that you go to weddings or events, or even in the studio, you have somebody talking live, and you can also paint the person and use your glitter and just splash, and then you have it, and you have that image. I'm like wondering what kind of art is this? I didn't know where to place it at the time.
Okay, what happened was we were drawing, we were creating realistic portraits, and we found out that people wanted something different. So we came across this show, America's Got Talent, and we were watching the videos, and I saw somebody just do something like that. I was like, we come. I've not seen this in the country before. Let's try this. So we took 2 years
to master that craft.
Wow. There were weddings where we did it and nothing came out. We're like, my God, we messed up this guy's wedding.
This is quite the glitter. I look at this, I'm like, and you can do this live at events and weddings. People really love this. People love this, and we have to, encourage, companies like yours and what you do to continue doing it. But before we go, what would you say is the biggest challenge in terms of appreciating art in Africa? Quickly.
The biggest challenge is, I would think, is awareness. A lot of people don't really know what art can be used for. Art is like a source of revenue for the country, and it can be a source of foreign direct investment. Growing up, people, our parents didn't really like us studying art. They were like, okay, get the side hustle, get a job. But right now, you find out that people are coming in from different parts of the world because they find art as like a like something that can preserve your culture, something that can preserve your story. Where you're coming from. If a country or a culture wants to die, it has to lose its ability to tell stories from where it starts from up to this point. So that was what we tried to do.
So that's the biggest challenge.
That was the biggest awareness.
All right. Well, thank you very much coming on Oyekomi Binutu. Ayokomi coming on Breakfast Central. Good luck and keep the glitter and splash. All right.
Thank you very much.
Well, still Breakfast Central on News Central, and that's on the show today. But don't forget that at 1:30 p.m. today we have to bring you NC Debrief with Felicity and all that. But now we're switching over to the other studio where Daniel is going to give us some thrilling music sound as we see you on Monday.
Africa, yeah, yeah. Africa, 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 eh. Cause all emotion about mass, we gotta use stakes of mathematics. So join Jaguar Jantis, oh yeah, Calibaro, be for brotherhood.
Keep it locked, it's Daniel Ikechi, and you're with News Central TV, Africa First. Keep it locked.
All right, Daniel, that reminds me of, Sound Sultan, who sadly passed away last week. So it was good tribute to Sound Sultan, great music legend, died at the age of 44. And also even with the basketball community, we're all still mourning. So thank you very much, Daniel, for that song. Well, that's it right here on Breakfast Central. It's been quite fun this week.
It is. TGIF, we will be seeing you on Monday, 8 a.m. West African time. On behalf of myself and the Lisa and production team, we're saying have a lovely weekend.
Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.